Hey guys, it's Laura, and today I'm probably doing the most worst video in the world in my life right now. If you don't know, my boyfriend died in May. Oh god, I'm gonna try and not cry. And everything's shit. I was planning to make this video about 5 months ago, but at the time I couldn't even talk about it out loud, let alone speak to a camera and tell everyone how I feel. So if you don't know me, I'm Laura, 23, about 7 months ago. Life was fucking perfect. Me and my boyfriend have been going out for 4 years. He's amazing, he's perfect, he's everything I ever wanted. Oh god. And he's not here anymore. Thank god I could edit some of this out. Basically I thought this year would be perfect. Jacob learnt how to drive this year. I was learning how to drive as well. We were going to go to Spain with him and his family. We had loads of things planned for this year, and everything's to shit now. I haven't planned this video at all, so I don't know where it's going to go, to be honest, but there you go. Yeah, so I will tell you, I guess, my version of the story. So I went to work on what I thought was a usual Thursday. I had a bit of a weird time in the morning because I got on the bus and there was this guy who was sitting really close to me, and I was quite panicky about it, and I was going to tell Jacob about it. However, he was in Germany for a business trip. He was only going to be there for a day, and he was planning to come back on the 4th of May. So I thought, I won't bother him, he's probably travelling back, I'm quite busy at work and, I don't want to bug him and stuff, so I just sort of left it. Around 5 PM maybe, my manager said to me, "Oh, can you follow me, please?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And she was like, "Don't worry, you're not going to get in trouble." And I was like, "Oh god, what's going to happen? Am I going to get fired or what? Like, what the fuck?" And then there was the director, and I'm thinking, oh god, have I fucked up work? Like, what have I done? And then they opened the door and I saw police, and you always hear these things that, in soaps, and it doesn't happen to you, but it's the worst thing in the world. My first reaction was, must be my parents, because my parents, they're in their 60s and everything, and I was like, what the fuck? And the moment she mentioned Germany, I was like, no, you've got the wrong fucking person, like, no. And all they could tell us was that it was an accident and nothing else. And I thought she was joking. They said, "Oh, do you want to go around Janet's house," which is Jacob's mum, or do you want to go home? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was very confused, and it's such a shock. And I borrowed my manager's phone, I started calling up my dad, and I just broke down crying to the point where he couldn't understand what I was saying. And I just went, "Don't worry, police are taking me to Janet's house. Tell mum, love you, bye," and broke down. At the time I was looking for cameras to see, is this a fucking prank? You just don't think it happens to you. And yeah, I got on the police car and I was just making jokes. Oh, Jacob, and I did this, blah, blah, like, it just didn't settle into my brain. The closer I got to Janet's house, the more real it felt. I was pinching myself to say, "Laura, fucking wake up," like, yeah, and that's when my life changed. I won't tell you how exactly Jacob died. Like, at the time they didn't know really, they just knew it was an accident, and that was it. However, all I can tell you, because I'm not going to tell you everything because I want to be quite private and have the close people around me. Like, it's a very confusing story, but long story short, he was in Germany, he got separated and he somehow fell off a building and died. It was an accident. There is more to it, but like I said, we don't know how it really happened. It doesn't add up. So yeah, the last thing I said to Jacob, bear with me because I send Jacob those messages, was on the 3rd of May, and I said to him, booked my driving test, with a shock face. And he goes, woo, I might not get to talk to you this evening, depends how long dinner goes on for, but don't speak to you, I love you lots and I'll speak to you tomorrow, smiley face. And I said, no worries, I love you lots too. And he read that and that was the last thing he saw. So I'm glad, I guess, that, you know, I said I love him, because I really did. And I still do. And I thought maybe recording this video would make me feel better, or make people understand how it fucking hurts. And I'm not okay, and everyone else is not okay, you know. It's the worst thing that could happen. He was 24. And we made jokes, like, when we were together, saying, you know, we'll be in our 80s together and we were gonna get, you know, we had plans and stuff. And yeah, it's not a thing anymore. It's just horrible. As well as I've experienced so many things these past 6 months, I somehow passed my test first time. So I have Jacob's car, which is really, really nice. I have memories in that car before Jacob owned the car, because it was Girick's. So we've had memories before Jacob owned the car. Then Jacob wasn't driving the car that long afterwards, but, you know, me and him used to go to Tesco's and he took me to Watford a few times and stuff like that. And now I've got the car and it's really nice, but, you know, I want to hang on to it as long as I can, really. I've got his bracelets. I bought him this when, I don't know, we were going for a year. I bought these 2 matching bracelets just for our 4-year anniversary, just a month before Jacob passed away. I've got this ring, which is made out of his ashes. I know some people will probably think, oh, that's fucking weird, but, you know, he will be always with me, in a way. And it's green because his eye colour is green and his favourite colour is green. Anyway, I'm babbling on about things you probably don't care about. But yeah, I've noticed that time is such a odd thing. I didn't go to work for 2 months because I couldn't function at all. Like, I could barely get out of bed. I couldn't think straight. I was zoning out constantly, crying, you know, everything. And especially, I think the first month went so slowly. Like, I remember the night I got told time was going so slowly, you know. I was at Janet's house for a couple of hours, then I came here and I was just staring at the computer and I was like, what the fuck, you know. I was telling some of my friends who needed to know, and, you know, they were like, what? And I was like, I know, it's really random, you know, what else do you say? And it just, yeah, I still feel very zoned out. Like, a part of me is missing. Like, normally I'm bubbly and happy and everything. I'm just not that person at the moment. I can have my good days, which involve, you know, being with my friends and feeling partly normal, but it's still not normal. I'm on antidepressants. I'm on pills which help my panic attacks, because I started getting really bad panic attacks. Because I used to have them before, but Jacob could, you know, help me with them and stuff like that. And yeah, I basically, if I ever had a panic attack by myself, I would think, oh, think about Jacob. But now when I think about Jacob, it makes me panic. And yeah, it's awful. So yeah, I just feel awful, and I've had so many lovely messages from people to say, you know, I don't know how you're going through this, you know, I'd be heartbroken if their partner died, etc. And most people have been lovely, but out of most people being lovely, there is a few people I've had just ask me straight, how did Jacob die? And that is a fucking heartless thing to do. You wouldn't go up to someone randomly and not even go, hi, how are you? I'm so sorry for your loss. And, you know, how did he die? Or if you were close friends, fine. But if you just go up to you wouldn't go up to a person and just go, how did Jacob die? You just fucking wouldn't. So I've had a few people who's done that. I've had people who, like, I get that people are worried or, you know, want to know if I'm okay, but it was like the first month, and people who haven't talked to me for about 5 years just gone, you're okay. And it's like, no, what's wrong? I'm like, Jacob's fucking dead. What do you expect me to feel like? Do you want me to feel better already after a month? No. People, like, I don't mind it so much now to say, how are you today? Because every day is different for me. Sometimes I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to be here, nothing. Other days I'm okay, you know, not okay, but, you know, I feel a little bit better, you know, I can concentrate more. Some days I'm happy if I'm with my friends and I have a distraction, but I still have moments where I constantly think of Jacob, but I'll have moments where I get really teary-eyed for no reason, or a song reminds me of him, like everything in my room reminds me of him. Because we did so much together, I can just look at mostly everything and have a memory with Jacob at that point. And that's heartbreaking. Like, he was glued to me, basically. Like, you know, we were always together on weekends, we would have things in common, we would play games together, we've done so much things together, but we wanted to do more, and it's heartbreaking. And yeah, people used to just ask me out of the blue, how are you? And what do you expect me to say? Like, I'm great. About 95% of people have been so lovely, so if you're one of those people, thank you so much for, you know, writing a nice message to me, and, you know, generally are saying how are you coping and stuff like that. So thank you so much. Like, if you're watching this and thinking, oh god, do I ask her if she's okay? Now, yeah, fine, but, you know, straight on the dot, like, you know, of course I'm not okay. I still aren't, but 6 months on and it still doesn't feel real. So yeah, it's just, ugh. But also I wanted to open up, if you're a family member or a really close friend and I haven't told you this, I'm sorry. I just don't know really how to express myself and how I feel, really, but I have had bad thoughts. Like, the worst thoughts I've had is to just take all my anxiety pills and stuff, like save them up and take them and not be here anymore, or to crash my car, but I'm still here. That's mainly when I went on antidepressants, to be honest, because I admitted it to my doctor, which was hard enough. It's not like I want to die, it's just the pain of living at the moment is proper hard, and I wouldn't do it because I'm scared of death myself, but that's one of the reasons why. At the same time, like, my best friend, my boyfriend, who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, isn't here. It makes me really uneasy that that could just happen to someone I love. It's a really horrible, dark place to be in, and I would say if you have any thoughts about anything, talk to someone. I luckily have some people to talk to. I go to counselling as well, which helps. I went to counselling before, but it wasn't for me. It was through the NHS, and I saw him every 2 weeks, and he was really shit, basically. I would try and talk about Jacob as much as I could at the time, and his reply would be, it sounds like you are having troubles talking about your late partner. And I'd be like, yeah, he's fucking not here. Like, what do you expect me to do? Talk to him like, you know, he still is here. And everything's fine. It's, you know. So I got a different counsellor for young people. She's fucking lovely. I talk constantly, whereas I probably talked more in the first session than I did in, like, you know, the whole 4 sessions I had with the other guy. So that's really helpful. It's not like I want to do harm to myself, but my life has changed forever. Like, even when in the future I do find someone new, and you know, there will always be a part of me who loves Jacob and who will constantly think about it. Like, you know, his parents doesn't, you know, they don't have their oldest son, and you know, Joe and Evie don't have a big brother to look up to, and it's really heartbreaking. So I'm looking after them for Jacob because I promised him. You know, my family adored him as well. He had so many friends. He was a great guy, and I just don't get why it had to happen to him. Fuck, this is a hard video to make. So yeah, I've had other thoughts about, you know, self-harm. I used to self-harm as a 16, you know, when I was a teenager, but I don't want to. And I know Jacob would be so mad at me that I've had these thoughts, but I haven't done them. I'm proud of myself in that way. I'm getting a tattoo tomorrow on my forearm, which probably when this video goes up, I've probably had the tattoo anyway. So if I have Laura, take a picture and put it up here, yeah, sure. Because I have like slightly self-harm scars from when I was a teenager, and I've made a goal to say if I've lasted 6 months without self-harming, I'll get a tattoo. And I've fucking done it. It's been 6 months already. I'm proud of myself, you know. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel like I'm, you know, my head isn't here anymore. Like, it's so hard to think. Like, Christmas is coming up. Just the whole concept of Christmas, I have no joy. Like, I love Christmas normally, but it's just such a hard thing to think about because he's not here. We used to do like early Christmas on Christmas Eve to open our presents together. That's gonna be awful. Like, I used to love seeing his face and love buying Christmas presents for like my family, like really thinking really hard about stuff, and I just have no joy or no, you know, my brain won't let me, and I feel bad. Like, I don't know, I need to start Christmas shopping, but I just have no joy for it. If I could, I just wouldn't do Christmas this year, but you know, I've got nieces and nephews, I can't not buy them stuff, so yeah, I've got to put up the brave face basically. But yeah, I don't really know what to say much about this, to be honest. It's just shit. Life is shit. The only tips I can give someone is, you know, literally live every day like it's your last. And I know that sounds so cliche and everything, but it's fucking true. You know, I'm glad that I've done the things I did with Jacob, but we had so much more planned. We were going to go on holiday together, you know. We were making plans for the summer because he could drive. Stuff like that. And we didn't get to do like little silly things and stuff. So, you know, tell the people you love that you love them, because you don't know when it's going to be your last. Never go to bed, you know, angry at a person either, because the last thing you might say to them is something bad and you'd feel awful. You know, I have regrets that I didn't tell Jacob, you know, be careful and stuff like that, because I thought, you know, he's fine. But he, you know, I can't blame myself on it, but, you know, it does go through my mind and it's horrible. I am lucky that I did tell him that I love him for the last time a couple of hours before he died, because, you know, I'd feel guilty if I didn't, even though he knows I fucking do. I used to tell him all the time, and he used to go, "Oh, you say it so much." I'm like, "Because I really do love you." So yeah, God. I'm trying not to like proper cry either, because I've done my makeup today because I'm going to see Royal Blood later. It's just... ooh. It's hard. It's so hard. And I know time's a healer and all that shit, but time is a long time. Like, it's been 6 months and I still don't believe it. I still haven't accepted that Jacob's not here anymore, you know. It's just to get, I guess, used to it that he's not here. I don't talk to him every day. I don't see him. I don't fucking cuddle him anymore. I just miss him so much. And I think of him constantly. And it's really hard just to get on with life. Like, I can't just sit here and be depressed and not do anything because he wouldn't want me to do that. I'm back at work now, but it's still so hard. You know, I go out and try and see my friends and stuff, but it's hard to see everyone else's life, you know, people having babies and getting on with their lives and moving out, and I can't. You know, I'm happy for everyone, but at the same time it's so hard to be happy for people. But yeah, it's awful. Some days I just don't want to go anywhere. I think the next video will be, I guess, how to deal with grief. Not like it's dealing with it really, but you know, I'm forcing myself, and everyone's forcing themselves to get through this very fucking hard time, and it will forever be a hard time, you know. We'll always think of Jacob in some form, you know, a joke or something. But yeah, so if you guys do have any questions, message me, leave a comment on the video. If you're an actual friend of mine, message me on Facebook, ask me anything, because this is the most open I've been, and I don't know how many people are going to watch this. So, you know, I've admitted a lot of things today. So yeah, it's just weird. So yeah, if you guys want another video of how to deal with grief and losing someone, I guess I'll make another video. I don't know when, because it is hard for me to talk, and depending on what day I've got, like, you know, I'm having and stuff like that. But yeah, I will link the video I made for Jacob. I made it quite soon after he passed away because he has a YouTube channel, and I wanted people who didn't know Jacob fully, like, you know, what he was like and his humour and stuff, because he was so hilarious and everything, and that was hard to, you know, it was quite hard to make, but it was something for me to achieve on, and I can't even watch it myself now. I cry. But yeah, I spent like 2 days making that at the time, so I'll link it, and I will, you know, put up the end of the video as well. So if you guys want to watch that, if you haven't, or if you have seen it and you want to watch it again, go for it. It is a lovely thing that I've made, admittedly. Like, you know, it's so nice to look back on and remember his voice. Even though I know what his voice sounds like, I'm scared that one day I will forget. And, you know, the jokes he made and stuff like that, like, even though I can't remember everything, it's nice to look at. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys if you watched the full video. Sorry it's not the usual bubbly self, but obviously that will take a long time to get back. So yeah, thank you so guys for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye.